One day, while visiting Poland, I decided to make a pilgrimage to the famous Shrine of the Black Madonna in Częstochowa, situated a great distance from the city of Krakow, where I was staying. I had an elderly Polish gentleman drive me on this day-long excursion, and on the way he asked if I wanted to see something beautiful and interesting in the forest of Ojców. Since I am always ready for anything beautiful and even more excited about anything interesting, I of course said yes. So we took a detour into some of the most magnificent Polish countryside, surrounded by lush green forest, fields, mountains, and streams of pure running water. As I marveled at the landscape, we rounded a bend, and suddenly I was facing one of the most beautiful man-made structures I had ever seen. It was a lovely, colorful wooden church, not particularly large, but obviously rather old, and made with a lot of love and attention to detail. Behind were tall blue cliffs, and all around stood majestic old trees. The most remarkable thing about this church, however, was that it was not built on land, but straddling a river. The front door could be entered from a short bridge on one bank of the river, while the back wall just about reached the other bank. The church itself hovered in the air just above the flowing water below, balanced on a few pillars planted in the water. The church did not touch land, and it had no foundation. It was a remarkable sight, and I was very curious about its story, which my driver very colorfully narrated. It seems that at the beginning of the last century, there was some unrest among the Poles who were rebelling against the Russian Tsar. As was so often the case in those parts, the churches were a hotbed of revolutionary spirit, standing always by the rights of the people. So Tsar Nicholas decreed that no new churches were to be built on the land of Ojców. The people were clever, though, so they got around the law by building their church not on the land, but on the water. And there it stands to this day, after all these years. I was delighted at the story and at the ingenuity of the people, but I was even more delighted at how that little church spoke to me. It seemed to say, I am the church. I am the people of God. As long as there are people and as long as there is God, I shall stand. Breathed into life at Pentecost, my foundations are not of the earth. Take away my land, and I shall be content to float on the water. Take the water from under me, and the very air shall be my bed. Take away the air, and I shall not suffocate even then, for the breath of God shall fill me, the hand of God will hold me up. To be church, I have no need of walls of wood or brick, nor am I built of laws, or of doors which can be shut to keep people out. I do not depend on human leaders, whether saints or sinners, whether wise or foolish. My foundation is God, and God alone. My doors are open to all, and in me all find a home. I am nothing more and nothing less than what I serve, the people of God. I am the church. As we drove away from that unforgettable church on the water, I wept with joy, for the Spirit of God, which at Pentecost had breathed life into the newborn church, had just breathed new hope into my heart.